Welcome to How Do We Rise, Step 6. Goodbye, fluoride and Heallo Pineal Gland. Fluoride is one of the most toxic waste chemicals on the planet, and it has been pushed on humanity for over 70 years under the premise of making stronger teeth and protecting our dental health. Fluoride is one of the largest scams created on the minds and the well-being and the health of humanity, and as well our pets, our animals. The government, and their loving care of us, has deliberately saturated the water supply with this hazardous waste material, forcing us to eat, drink, breathe, and soak in this carcinogenic chemical every single day. And not thinking that that was enough to immerse our bodies and bloodstreams in this toxic waste, neurotoxic material, they decided to create fluoridated toothpaste, mouthwashes, and dental treatments. But that's not all. They thought to add it to most of the vitamin supplements that we take and most tea beverages, just to ensure and assure us of our decreasing health, and we would never ever know what was causing it. Aren't they fantastically caring and mindful to our ability to be healthy and feeling great with a great sense of well-being? I mean, the government around the world has just been so kind to think of us in such a way as to add toxic, hazardous, carcinogenic fluoridation to our water supply and our food, our pet foods, our toothpaste, our mouthwash, everything that we either bathe in, drink, or eat. In fact, they thought so highly of us to understand that fluoride in a larger quantity is actually more toxic than lead, and it's just a hair less toxic than arsenic. So that is why fluoride has been used in rat and insect poison and is so toxic that products with fluoride in it must contain a poison label, like you will see on a tube of toothpaste or on a mouthwash label. Fluoride is known to lower the IQs, and that's the intelligence quotients, in children and adults, while it calcifies the third eye, the pineal gland, causing tumors in this precious organ, also causes tumors in the pituitary gland and in the brain. Fluoride weakens the bones and causes bone cancer. Fluoride causes severe arthritis. It causes brittle bone disease, bone deformities. It causes diabetes, cardiovascular disease, which is your heart and your bloodstream and your veins and everything having to do with the cardiovascular system. It causes thyroid disease, hypo and hyperthyroid illness. It causes male infertility. It causes kidney disease. It causes hypersensitivity. It is an endocrine disruptor, and it causes illness of the gastrointestinal tract, and it causes the profound and most costly illness, just about of all, cancer. It causes cancer because it's carcinogenic. Fluoride is carcinogenic. It's a neurotoxic waste material. They don't know what to do with it, so they decide to put it in our water and our food and the products that they say is really healthy for us. And they spend millions and millions of dollars on commercials to tell us how healthy these toothpastes and these mouthwashes and everything are, in order to get us to buy it, believing that this is what is good health care, and wonderful hygiene. And yet it is a neurotoxin, and they know it. And they make trillions of dollars off of it. So not only does fluoride calcify the pineal gland, disrupting melatonin in the brain. If you disrupt melatonin in the brain, it causes insomnia, but it also shortens the time of puberty. It accelerates a female girl body into premature sexual maturity, which is why prepubescent girls as young as 5 years old have been known to begin their menses. A 5-year-old child having their period is anywhere from 7 to 13 years too early. And when a girl child has a period, that girl child could easily have sex, get pregnant, to have a baby as young as 5 years old. And that goes along with the whole pedophile breeding program theme that I won't get into in this particular podcast, but please note that there's a deliberate intention on that as well. And it's important to note that the pineal gland is most susceptible to collecting fluoride in ppms, destroying this sacred gland. And its most important purpose, which is, and the pineal gland most important purpose, although it has purpose in all the structures of the body, in all the glands and organs, but its most important purpose is to connect us to our divinity, to help us to see clearly the truth, to help us to stand in our power, to help us to emit and work with our own personal magic, to have our own intuition in full operation, and to stay true to and allow our supernatural, or what we call supernatural gifts, to be in full operation, which supernatural is really natural to humanity. They only say it's supernatural, but metaphysical gifts belong to humanity. So by calcifying this gland, we call our third eye, the eye that sees inward, cultivating consciousness and spiritual luminosity, a gland that is more powerful by giving us insight and the ability to expand and evolve in amazing ways. The pineal gland is designed like our physical eyes, with cones and all the structures, all the amazing parts of our physical eyes. It also has, but it allows us the insight, not the outsight, the insight to look within, to build our consciousness, to have our intuition, to know ourselves, to know the truth within ourselves, while our physical eyes are the outside, seeing the world externally. So the pineal gland is the insight, the inner view of who we are, and our world, and the internal world, and the spiritual world, while our physical eyes are to the world externally. Fluoride is a neurotoxin that damages the brain. So it lowers IQ profoundly while causing brain cancer and tumors, also while harming the nervous system throughout the body. It also is known to cause neurodegenerative diseases like autism, ADD, ADHD, cognitive impairment, and other neurotoxic disabilities. Not only does fluoride harm the brain and the nervous system and is neurotoxic, but it is toxic to the emotional IQ. It lowers impulse control. It lowers the emotional intelligence in a human being, allowing for people to show very big displays of negative passion, outward raging, anger, frustration, lower inhibitions, and that sort of thing. It allows a lack of compassion and a lack of demonstration in terms of caring for other beings and animals, nature, etc., because it totally starts to erode through our morality, our inhibitions, or all the places in which our character is built upon, that strong structure, and also our will, the structure of our will. So fluoride compromises the brain, the nervous system, the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, which would then be the hypothalamus, the adrenal glands, which is the kidneys. It injures the heart, it injures the cardiovascular system, which also impairs the lungs. It impairs the bowel system, it impairs the bloodstream, it backs up the lymphatic system. It creates a mental block within the body, so cognition is down, memory is down. It blocks up the emotional, creating an emotional dam. It drops impulse control, it drops patience, it drops inhibitions, and allows people to do things that they normally would not do. And it creates a vortex and a swirling, out of control volcanic energy inside the emotional membrane of the body, or the outer body, the emotional body, depleting all of our will and our internal resources in order to handle life as life is coming. It just completely deprives us of our own humanity. Fluoridation completely deprives us of our humanity. So the most important thing that we can do concerning this neurotoxic waste material that destroys our body, our emotions, our mind, pushing us ever further away from our souls, depleting us of our humanity, and moving us away from our fourth dimensional reality. So getting off of the fluoride, removing it completely from our lives, and healing our bodies from fluoridation is primary and fundamental to rising, to waking up, and to healing ourselves. So let's take a look at where unnatural processed fluoride, the waste material, is added into in our everyday lives and our everyday products. So the first thing that fluoride has been added to is our municipal drinking water, our treated water, which is our tap water, and most bottled water. So unless you're in a well, and even in a deep well where human contamination isn't happening, can contain a lot of fluoride. Okay, so it's your wells that are more shallow but not contaminated that have the least amount, but that has natural fluorine in it. Your municipal drinking water, your treated water, your tap water, and your bottled water has all been filled with fluoridation, period. Again, your toothpaste, your mouthwashes, the bleach that people are whitening their teeth with, anything that has to do with cavity prevention, going to a dentist, using their cleaning solutions, and everything that they offer has very intense and profound amounts of fluoride in it. Teas. Yes, teas. Your instant teas, your prefabbed, pre-made bottled teas, your iced tea powder, your green teas, your black teas. The older the leaves are, the more fluoride is in it. The longer it's been sitting, the more fluoride, meaning growing, because of the uptake of the water. The teas that are grown with tremendous amounts of fluoridated water, which is most of the teas sold around the world now, has such fluoridation in it to cause a calcified pineal gland. And I have to admit, I drink tea. I make jasmine tea and kokicha tea, and I drink it all day long. And I do have brain fog. I really do. and then I forget. I get off of it, and then I forget because I long for a cup of tea. The next thing you know, I'm drinking a lot of tea. Jasmine tea, oolong tea, black teas, pretty much all your teas, and of course your Lipton teas and all your processed teas have tremendous amounts of fluoridation in it. Another thing that has fluoride, a lot of fluoride in it, is seafood. I know you're told to eat seafood, particularly your shrimp and your lobster and your crab and those types of meat, loaded with fluoridation. Processed foods. All processed foods have high content of fluoridation in it, and the more processed, the higher fluoride content. Now, liquids contain a higher fluoride content rate, than your food, but all processed foods are fluoridated. And your flavored beverages, they have 5 to 10 times the amount of fluoride over fluoridated water, which is a deliberate intention. So you're just taking fluoridated water with the flavorings that have 5 to 10 times the amount of fluoride in it, mixing it all together, and you have a real problem with these bottled beverages. And also your flavored waters, very high content. Another thing that we don't think about that has a huge high content of fluoride is grapes, because grapes are given ample amount of water with fluoridation in it, but they are sprayed heavily with fluoridated pesticides, which would be your Roundups. You know, all of the Roundup families, anything created by Monsanto Bayer, whatever you want to call it. But grapes are filled with fluoride. And that means that all the vineyards in the United States, every beverage that is made from conventionally grown U.S. grapes, that would be wine and that would be grape juice, are suffering extreme fluoride pesticide exposure. So the best way to reduce your exposure to fluoride pesticides is to avoid the consumption of anything having to do with grape juice, if it's non-organic, and wine if it's non-organic, particularly your white grape juices. So if it does not state organic wine or organic grape juice, don't drink it. It is loaded with fluoridation. And then after you eliminate that exposure source, then you need to focus on anything that's non-organic in the U.S., like raisins, dried beans, pinto beans, dried fruit, walnuts, and anything having to do with tree nuts, if it is non-organic. Another place that you find high fluoridation is in processed meats. Yep, processed meats. And the more industrial processing that a meat product has, the more likely it will contain elevated fluoride. This is because the meat industry uses a mechanical deboning process that actually contaminates the meat with higher levels of fluoride-laden bone particles. And this is particularly true with chicken meats. So a chicken nugget will contain more fluoride than a roasted chicken, and a slice of sandwich chicken meat will contain more fluoride than a slice from a roasted chicken. Now, symptoms of a calcified pineal gland will be, low melatonin release. That's one of the first things that happens. And when you have low melatonin, you have sleep disorders, you have insomnia, you have sleep that you're actually experiencing without going into deep rhythms where you won't dream, and you'll feel like you're not even sleeping. A calcified pineal gland, another sign for that is premature aging, chronic headaches and migraines, strokes, and brain aneurysms, Alzheimer's disease. It is not just from aluminum foil, it is from fluoridation. Schizophrenia. What's interesting about schizophrenia, Alzheimer's, with strokes, is that the way that the allopathic medical industry treats that is by giving very strong pharmaceutical drugs, particularly in schizophrenia, in order to tamp down the expressions of the schizophrenia. And yet inside those drugs are tremendous amounts of heavy metals and fluoride. They just keep re-exposing us, but they're breaking down the symptoms so you're not experiencing symptom-wise the toxicity, but the breakdown in your body is happening that much faster. Another symptom of pineal gland calcification is breast cancer. It is prostate cancer. It is insulin resistance, which is diabetes. It is cognitive sluggishness. It is where you're struggling to think, come up with words, pronounce your words. It causes brain fog. It causes loss of memory. And as I said, insomnia and a host of sleep disorders, because it breaks down our operation with melatonin. And when you don't have enough melatonin, it throws off the endocrine system exponentially. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk about solutions, certain ways to open up the third eye and decalcify the pineal gland. So the first thing I want to say to you is spend time in sunlight every day. Okay? If you go out in the morning, and hopefully they're not spraying, so they've been spraying the sunlight, they've been fluoridating us, and now they're spraying and blocking the sun, because it also messes with the melatonin. If we do not have enough sunlight, we cannot again regulate the melatonin in the pineal gland. It's all about destroying the pineal gland. Everything they're doing, it's about destroying the pineal gland. So the morning sunlight is the best to get out there and start your day, because it starts the circadian rhythm, okay, inside the body, which regulates the melatonin, and that's released in the pineal gland. So the melatonin is released by the pineal gland, but the circadian rhythm in the body creates that balance and that regulation. So what I like to do is I go out into the morning light, and for me, I'm always out in the sun, so I just keep absorbing the sun. But if I'm dealing with depression or sluggishness or whatever, I will look at the sun and I will blink my eyes 30 times, then close them, then open, looking at the sun, blinking them very rapidly 30 times, close them, and do that again. You can start with 9 times, 10 times, that's fine. But you just want to rapidly, it's called Sun Qigong, and you just want to rapidly bring that sunlight in, just so it's being focused through your eyes. And as you're doing that through your physical external eyes, it is reaching the pineal gland. So please, every morning, very early in the morning, between 8 and 9, go outside, look at the sun, sit in the sun, just absorb it, or do the Sun Qigong. Another thing to do to reset the pineal gland, decalcify, is to sleep in complete darkness. Okay? In the evening, when darkness begins, the 4-hour melatonin release cycle begins as well. When we stay awake past when it gets dark, utilizing all artificial light does interfere with melatonin release, and it unsettles the serotonin to the melatonin production in the pineal gland. So the best thing to do is always to go to bed with the dark and rise with the sun. And when you start balancing and cleansing your pineal gland, you'll find that you're getting tired when it gets dark outside. You automatically want to go to sleep, and you will wake up as soon as the light streams through the windows. So it's really important to start moving into that rhythm on your own in order to bring your pineal gland back into balance. The other thing is, please reduce the blue light exposures. That is found on your TV, on your mobile devices, on your computers, and lighting that has the blue light spectrum. And as you know, they're moving all of us out of the incandescent lights to the LED lights. The LED lights are the blue light spectrum, and it's a cool spectrum. So therefore, what's going to happen is we're not going to be able to incubate eggs. We're not going to be able to do detoxifications. And if we're living in LED lights, we're living in poison, toxic lighting. So I always advise people to continue with your incandescent lights. Forget the budget saver light bulbs. They are fluoridation. They're fluorescent. Fluorescent is fluoridation. Okay? Fluorescent lights, fluoridation. LED blue lights, it blocks the pineal gland from operating properly. It interferes with the normal release of melatonin from the pineal gland. So try wearing blue light blocking glasses, which are the orange lenses, in the evening if you're going to be awake, and use incandescent light bulbs. Another thing is to perform daily mindful meditation. Meditation, not where we go to empty and we empty out our spirits so that our archonic frequencies do come in. And yes, you're going to write me and say I'm crazy. However, well researched, 58 years old, many years of meditation. You don't want to do meditations that primarily move you to full emptiness, because that is taught to us in order for the archonic negative frequency to come into our bodies to take control. What you want to do are do meditations that are more declaratives or visualizations, which enhance the brain process in order to heal the pineal gland. Any meditation that helps produce that deep brain wave and stimulate by relaxing the parasympathetic nervous system. So closing the eyes helps stimulate darkness, which is essential for releasing melatonin, but also moving the mind into a place of deep rest, deep visualization, removing the stressors, and allowing the parasympathetic nervous system to just come into relaxation is an essential process for the pineal gland. Okay? And if you look on my playlist, every Monday is Meditation Monday. I put up a new meditation. And although I just started it, I have the Archon binding. I have the human unbinding. So the Archon binding is wonderful to bind up their energy, making yourself protective from their energy. The human unbinding to release our soul back into our fourth dimensional frequency. I believe I did the Meadow meditation. I did the pineal gland cleanse meditation, the inner child meditation, and maybe a few others with more to come. So definitely look at my playlist, because my meditations, I call them declaratives, or Meditation Monday, because it's kind of, jazzy, but they are visual imagery processes to bring you into states of well-being, producing deep brain waves and stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system to move into deep relaxation while your eyes are closed, stimulating that darkness. Okay, another thing you can do is to perform yoga. Now, we're hearing, a few years ago it came out that yoga is evil, yoga is Satan, and yoga needs to be stopped. In all the years that I've done yoga, which I want to get back into doing again, I have only experienced health, well-being, emotional, spiritual, and mental satiation, pleasure, bliss, ecstasy, physical prowess, stimulation of muscles, and everything wonderful and connection to the divine source within myself. So that's been my experience. You can decide what you want, but I find that performing yoga is a very healthy thing to do. Yoga practices have long thought to decalcify the pineal gland and open the third eye. Those inversion postures that turn us upside down, so the head or the handstands, whatever, when you're allowing your head to be lower than your waist, is helpful to get that increase of blood flow to the pineal gland. So even if you just go to your wall and you get on your hands, or you do a headstand, or if you're outside, you go to a tree and you do a headstand or a handstand, whatever you need to do. There are machines that you can get on, little slant boards and that sort of thing, to hang upside down, to get the blood flow to your brain and the pineal gland. However, doing yoga is an overall body assister in balancing everything and the meridian systems inside the body, and the auric field as well. So your emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies as well. Another thing that you can do is to practice deep breathing, where you're enlarging and engorging the diaphragm. So deep nasal breathing, okay? So you're breathing through your nose with longer, slower exhalation. That also stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. So when you're breathing in through your nose, try inhaling for 3 seconds, then 5 seconds, and then 7 seconds, and then slowly releasing and exhaling through your mouth. And do that for 5 to 10 minutes a day, and that will start to stimulate your pineal gland as well. And I'll tell you another thing is, and I do this in several of my meditations. I do it specifically in the pineal gland cleansing, decalcifying meditation, is where you will take your left index finger, place it against your left nostril, closing it off, so that when you're inhaling slowly through your right nostril only, holding for 3 to 5 seconds, and then releasing through your mouth, changing for your right index finger, closing your right nostril, and breathing in through your left, doing the same thing, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You are cleansing your brain, you're cleansing your pineal gland, you're cleansing your immune system, and you're bringing your parasympathetic nervous system into a very balanced homeostasis, a place of well-being. It detoxifies the body, it cleanses the body, and it brings your brain and your overall emotional and body system into harmony. So I ask you maybe to start with about 2 to 5 minutes of doing that, and then build it up until you can do 20, 30 minutes of that. Another thing is to stimulate the roof of your mouth. You'll find this in the pineal gland meditation as well. You use your tongue to place pressure on the top of your palate. The roof of the mouth has many relaxing parasympathetic nerve endings. Okay, so whenever you're not talking or eating, whatever, place the tip of your tongue, roll it back to the top of your mouth, placing it against your palate or the roof of your mouth. And then you can try utilizing the posture with your tongue while you're doing any kind of breathing or meditation. As I said, I have people doing that in the pineal gland meditation and other meditations coming. You can also use fingers to stimulate the gum behind the upper front teeth. Make sure you wash your hands with baking soda only, not with any soaps, and take your finger and stimulate the gums behind the upper front teeth. But while you're sitting and reading, you're on the computer, you're cooking your meal, you're whatever, you're reading a book, whatever you're doing, you're going for a walk, you can just place the tip of your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Exercise daily. Absolutely really important to perform daily exercise so that it releases hormones that will help the circadian rhythm and release the melatonin at night. So it's real important for you to get up, go for a walk, pick up speed, enjoy your walk, look at the trees, enjoy being outside, enjoy the sun, but go for a walk, go for a bike ride. Don't get into a swimming pool with chlorine, but you can go to mineral pools, you can go to lakes, you can go to rivers. Just get out, do some exercise, do some yoga, do some qigong, do some tai chi, martial arts, whatever. But go exercise every day. Another thing you can do is practice gazing meditation. Tritaka meditation is a practice deliberately to open the third eye. Now you can practice by candle gazing, or while you're gazing at the flame of the candle without blinking for 1 to 3 minutes. Then afterwards, close your eyes and focus on the after image for several minutes until it disappears, and you repeat that several times. So try doing Tritaka meditation where you're gazing at a candle, you're gazing at a ball, whatever. Again, gaze at the candle without blinking for 1 to 3 minutes. It'll be hard, it'll take practice. Then close your eyes and focus on the after image for several minutes until it disappears. Another thing you could do is color visualization. Third eye chakra theory and yoga philosophy says that the third eye relates to the color indigo. It is a deep blue purple color. So try picturing a deep blue purple color at the space between your eyebrows. So imagine a circular deep blue purple between your eyebrows, and then focus on that image for 5 minutes with your eyes closed. Okay? So you're just going inward and focusing on a circular purple-blue color for 5 minutes. Another is sensory deprivation. Okay, so the pineal gland is sensitive to light. So immerse yourself in total darkness. Okay, that's why there are deprivation tanks or float tanks that allow full immersion in the dark. But there you're immersed floating in water, entirely removed from all your senses. But if you can immerse yourself and go into a room, all the lights are off, it's totally black, there are no TVs on, no radios, no sounds, the phone is completely turned off. It's at a time where your neighbors are quiet, they've gone to bed. And you just close your eyes and you just allow yourself to be in this dark place, allowing yourself to just float away. That's sensory deprivation. No touch, no sound, no light, nothing to intrude upon you. You could do that 15 minutes, you could do it half hour, an hour a day will help to heal the pineal gland. The next thing is that you can take vitamin D supplement, D3 supplement, and don't forget to take it, always take it with vitamin K2, okay, because vitamin D3 helps regulate circadian rhythm again. You want to take a dose about 5,000 to 10,000 IUs of the vitamin D3 daily, depending on the season. Make sure you always take it with the vitamin K2. Make sure that the product does not contain fluoride, and make sure the product is not synthetic, okay? And a lot of people do better on liquid D3 with K2 than powder. Also, you can take cod liver oil. Naturally sourced cod liver oil is a great source of the active form of vitamin A, which is retinol. And vitamin A is linked to melatonin via the detection of light in the eyes. So you can just take cod liver oil up to 3 times a day, and it will help cleanse the pineal gland, allowing the melatonin to release when light is received by the eyes. Again, take a vitamin K2 supplement. Vitamin K2, MK4, MK7 helps to carry calcium out of the soft tissues and decalcify the pineal gland. It works alongside, as I said, vitamin D3 and vitamin A, the retinol. So take about 600 micrograms per day of the K2. So when you're looking for your D3 And your K2 mixture, your K2 you want to be 600 micrograms, and your vitamin D3 you want between 5 to 10,000 IUs. Okay? They are the support for each other, the support structure. I can't say it, stress it enough. Never take K2 alone. Never take vitamin D3 alone. They must be taken together. And then take a vitamin B12 supplement of a high grade, because B12 helps the conversion of melatonin in the pineal gland. And a sublingual vitamin B12 supplement is best to be absorbed. If you have a pill, you can crush the pill and you can put it on, or you can just put it underneath your tongue, but crushed underneath your tongue to get it in that way, so it's sublingual. But try and find B12 that is liquid form, even pharmaceutical grade. Also, you can take neem extract. An ancient Indian practice, neem is antibacterial and it supports a healthy immune response. I always have organic neem extract on my, in my house and in my garden. I use it in my plants, I use it on my plants, and I use it in me. I can put it in homemade soaps to put your neem so that your skin is healthy. You want to create a healthy immune system for the pineal gland. Use and take neem extract, organic, please. And definitely reduce your stress. So if your job or home life is stressful, it can cause chronic stress hormone release, and that will interrupt your pineal gland, and long-term may lead to pineal gland calcification. So whatever you can do, this is my biggest issue. I drink a lot of tea and I have a lot of stress on my plate. Removing the stress allows the pineal gland to decalcify and find homeostasis. Also, you definitely want to reduce refined sugar, flour, and vegetable oils. I mean, packaged and processed foods contain fluoride, absolutely, and sugar, flour, and vegetable oil. They disrupt the gut microbiomes and cause inflammation. So whatever you do, get off the refined sugar, get agave, get honey, get maple syrup, get off refined white flour, and get your almond flours, get coconut flour, whatever else that's healthy. And definitely the vegetable oils, you should be using coconut oil, olive oil, sesame oil, that sort of thing. And then heal that leaky gut, because leaky gut, they say that the gut is the second brain. I've actually come to believe that the gut is the first brain, right? That really governs and sustains everything else, including the brain within our head. So heal leaky gut. The intestinal permeability increases inflammation in the body, including the gut-brain axis. So undergoing a leaky gut or intestinal healing protocol will assist in decalcifying the pineal gland, and it will help to open up the third eye. So do work on getting that gut really, really healthy. Another thing that's really great for the pineal gland is iodine, because iodine chelates heavy metals such as mercury, lead, cadmium, and aluminum, as well as fluoride. Take iodine, extract the heavy metals, pineal gland can heal. Now, I don't know how to pronounce this word, Shilajit. Let me spell it for you. Shilajit. 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 Now, this forms a thick resin that's packed with 85 different trace minerals, including fulvic acid. And that helps to heal the pineal gland by extracting fluoride and all sorts of heavy metals and toxicity out of the body. Fulvic acid. Fulvic acid helps eliminate toxins and heavy metals, and it supports the decalcification process. It also helps to deliver antioxidants and minerals directly into your cells, which needs it so desperately. So get a nice fulvic acid product, and also the Shilajit, or however you pronounce that. Fulvic acid is spelled Fulvic. acid, ACID. Turmeric. Turmeric is another excellent supplement for the pineal gland. The curcumin, that active ingredient in turmeric, prevents and reverses the damage from fluoride exposure. You can take a supplement. I prefer that you don't, because a lot of the turmeric has lead in it now. But if you get an organic turmeric that doesn't have lead in it, and you make golden paste, which you can Google golden paste and golden milk, and you can make your own golden paste supplement, which is organic virgin coconut oil, freshly ground black pepper when you grind it right before you make the golden paste, and turmeric with some water, non-fluoridated water. And you heat it, you mix it. You could put it in 2-ounce jars, 1-ounce jars, 4-ounce jars, whatever you want. If you can keep it in the refrigerator, go for the 4-ounce jars. Freeze the rest of it, and you will have golden paste on hand. And then also, you can take the golden paste that you made, put it in almond milk or goat milk, anything that is non-fluoridated and pure. You can make your own almond milk from organic almonds, by the way. Anyways, you can take milk and you can heat it, put your golden paste in it, put cinnamon, put cloves, cardamom, pepper, cayenne, anything you like, a little bit of honey if you want, a maple syrup if you want, and drink it down right before bed. People who have sleep disorders, insomnia, it works wonders. Golden paste, golden milk, turmeric. There's a key. Also, I know people who actually take the golden paste and they rub it over the third eye and go to sleep. It does leave an orange spot there, but for people who don't care, who aren't wearing makeup and aren't vain, go ahead and do it, because it gets in through it's transdermal, and it gets into the pineal gland that way as well. Chaga mushrooms. Now the Chinese call it the king of plants. In Siberia, it's called the gift from the gods. And for Japanese people, it's the diamond of the forest. So you're talking about wood rotting fungus, and it's king of the plants, it's a gift from God, and it's the diamond of the forest. Chaga is amazing. Okay, so chaga, and many scientific studies have shown that chaga mushroom works beautifully on healing the immune system, the hormonal system, and the central nervous systems. In Finland and Russia, they found that chaga is efficient in being an anti-tumor agent as well as antiviral. Chaga provides us with phytochemicals, nutrients, and melanin. So please get on chaga mushrooms. And there are organic supplements, chaga supplements, so you can do that. Just make sure that it's organic. Another thing is eat raw cocoa, which is cocoa. But raw cocoa, rich in flavonoids, helps decrease blood pressure and improve the blood vessel health. By triggering high levels of nitric oxide, raw cocoa increases the size of the blood vessels, and the larger blood vessels means more blood flow and oxygen, making it its way to the pineal gland, supporting healthier functioning and allowing detoxification. Tamarind, and I'm spelling it Tamarind. It looks like tamarind. Tamarind, one study and a follow-up study from the early 2000s demonstrated that tamarind increased the excretion of fluoride in urine compared to the control group. Okay, so the researchers know that tamarind is capable of reversing the effects of skeletal fluorosis caused by ingesting fluoride. This particular study shows that the compound from the tamarind fruit shell can be used to defluoridate groundwater as well. Got to put tamarind on the protocol. Another beauty to have in your arsenal is apple cider vinegar. Raw, organic apple cider vinegar is a natural metal detoxifier. The malic acid in raw apple cider vinegar detoxifies heavy metals, while it holds natural vitamins, minerals, and enzymes to replenish your body with necessary nutrients. I love to buy a case of apples. In fact, I usually buy 2 or 3 cases of organic apples in the fall, but you can do it in the summer too. And I peel them and I core them. And I take their seeds out. I remove all the seeds and set that aside. I take the cores and the peels and I put them in a crock. I add sugar. I add coconut sugar. And then I put a towel over it. I put it inside my cabinet and I let it sit for weeks. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks, and it makes whatever the size of your crock is. So if it's a 5-gallon crock or a 10-gallon crock or a 20-gallon crock, it makes that much apple cider vinegar. I take the seeds, I dry them out in a clean space, and then I will eat the seeds because the seeds are great at combating cancer. So malic acid binds with toxins and helps the body eliminate them more efficiently. And apple cider vinegar also helps cleanse the lymph nodes to allow better lymph circulation necessary for removing toxins and improving your immune response. And it is excellent for your pineal gland detoxification program. Also, another thing is that on the lymphatic system is to take shower brushes. You have one with a long handle, one with a medium handle, and one that you hold in your hand. And you can look up on YouTube how to dry brush your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is right beneath the skin, so you don't have to do it hard, but there is a sequence, there is a formula, and a process to follow. And when you learn that process, you use those brushes to 3 times stroke in the direction it's supposed to, step by step by step, to move the lymphatics, the drudge and the sludge and all the gooby grudge inside the lymphatic system, and start moving it out of the body so you can detoxify your lymphatic system. Therefore, you can keep cleansing healthfully. Another thing is boron. Okay, in 1942, a study with Markovich and Stanley discovered that boric acid is actually an antidote to fluorine. Boric acid is the most common form of boron, a trace mineral. People are taking borax, off the shelf in your cleaning area. I highly recommend you stop doing that. Although you may be feeling great taking it, and it may seem like it's helping you, you're causing, a secondary problem, and that is chemical poisoning. You see, baking soda, borax, TSP, all of these powdery cleansers are absorbents. They absorb. So while the boxed borax, just thin cardboard paper borax, is sitting on the shelf in the same aisle as Tide and Gain and Downy and chlorine and all bleach and all sorts, and all your toxins and Lysol and all the fragrant toxins, that borax, like baking soda in boxes and that sort of thing, are absorbing all the chemicals, and then you ingest it when you take it. So I ask you to stop doing that, and I ask you to look for a beautiful boron supplement that has no chemicals in it, and you can take that. But foods high in boron are, almonds, bananas, avocados, beets. You can do beet juice powder. When I say avocados, almonds, bananas, beans, beets, chickpeas, dates, hazelnuts, prunes, raisins, and walnuts, all organic and nothing grown with fluoridated water supply. So those are the foods to get boron in. And then you have your green superfoods, okay? So eating your raw green foods that are very, very rich in chlorophyll will also help collate the heavy metals from your blood while nourishing your blood. chlorophyll-dense foods like spirulina and wheatgrass, and I will plug wheatgrass, increases the oxygen levels, it repairs damaged tissue, and it boosts the immune system. People will say that chlorella is a great product, and I'll say if it was not contaminated, it would be an exceptional product. However, chlorella is very contaminated with heavy metals. So I always advise people to get chlorophyll and chlorophyll-dense foods. I react terribly to chlorella. I react terribly to spirulina. I've been reacting to spirulina since I was a little girl. However, you can buy wheatgrass seeds and you can grow your own wheatgrass. You can just put it in a bathroom or in your garage or your basement or wherever, right in your kitchen. You can grow wheatgrass. And then from the wheatgrass, you have a pulverizer. You do by hand, not by electricity. And you get the juice right there. You could eat the grass or you can do the juice. There's your chlorophyll. Theoretically, anything that boosts oxygen and immune function should support your body in reversing pineal gland calcification. Ozone, hyperbaric oxygen treatment centers, is anything that boosts up the oxygen level and the immune system is perfect. Okay, and then any foods that are charged with sunlight also helps to support pineal gland functioning. So that's anything that you grow organic in your garden, and particularly if it's green, crunchy, filled with liquid and beautiful, and your tomatoes and that sort of thing. And the other thing is, say again, I have a pineal gland healing meditation. It's on my playlist. I've already put that on YouTube. It is primary, okay? I'm not plugging myself, but I did years of research and I put it all together, and it has everything that you need to have inside of a meditation specifically geared to heal the pineal gland. And not from ohming, not from anything like that, although we do some ohming because you're raising a vibration. This is not a new age thing. It is taking the physiological system of promoting the well-being to the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus, the adrenals, and the thyroid, as well as the pineal. So it's about connecting your roof to the tongue to the roof of your mouth. It's about different protocols. It's about the breathing. It's about getting oxygenation in to your body. When I do the pineal gland meditation, I am high. I am riding really high. I find people that are heavily fluoridated to have trouble with this meditation at first. I always say take it slowly. Do it at your own pace. Try it every day. If you can't do that, at least 3 times a week. It will turn your health around. So those are many solutions to allowing and helping and assisting the pineal gland to become decalcified. Now, the signs of your third eye awakening and opening, that's always different for all people, but just some of the common third eye opening symptoms or signs that you're healing is a feeling of pressure between the eyebrows. Okay? That's okay to have because it means that the pineal gland is moving energy. It's flowing with energy. So if you're feeling a pressure between the eyebrows, increased foresight, where you can actually see with higher vision or broad vision, see ahead, tackle the problem so you have solutions, that sort of thing. When you're able to start doing that, you're starting to open things up. Increased light sensitivity. Don't get afraid. Just notice. You're increasing the smells, the taste, the hearing, that all of your senses are becoming enlivened and you're feeling more alive within your own beingness. Sensing that you're going through a gradual, continual change inside of yourself. Seeing colors in the spectrum of blue or purple, being able to see that with your visual eyes, but also when you close your eyes, seeing that vibration going on, that shimmering, and also a feeling of vibration and rhythm from your surroundings when you could actually feel the trees vibrating. You can feel the heart and emotion of your dogs or your cats or your birds or your hamsters or your pet rat. When you're able to be in tune with the vegetables that you're growing and the fruit trees that you have with people around you, okay? That's, you're becoming alive. You're moving into your intuition. You're allowing your more natural to humans, but what they call supernatural energy, feeling the energy vibration of the world within and around you. Definitely stop going to the dentist if it means that you're going to get fluoride treatments. If your dentist insists on using anything with fluoride in it, find a different dentist. Find a dentist, a biodentist that doesn't use that. Remove all things out of your mouth, water and foods and all your products that contain fluoride. Also, another thing is a couple other things is reishi mushrooms are good for you. Algae is good for you. Passion flower, milk thistle, albizia, ginkgo, blue lotus, gotu kola, noni juice, schisandra, moringa, again chaga, aloe, and mucuna. So those are pineal gland decalcifiers. Again, I'll repeat it so you can write it down if you're taking notes on this. Reishi mushrooms, algae, passion flower, milk thistle, albizia, mucuna, ginkgo, blue lotus, gotu kola, noni, aloe, chaga, moringa, and schisandra. I've given you a lot of solutions to working on healing the pineal gland. There is nothing more important than focusing your attention and your time on this process. Black out your bedroom, go to bed when it turns night. Literally unplug your phones, put them on airplane. I wrap my phone in aluminum foil, 3 layers, and I put them in a metal cabinet. I don't want blue lights on around me. I try hard to go to bed after an hour so I'm off the phone. Please do the breathing processes. That's really important. Get out and exercise, get in that sunlight. Don't take synthetic supplements. Find organic, holistic ones. Get off all the foods and all the beverages that are unhealthy. Tamp down that stress. It's hard to do. Go to smiling. Get out in that sun. Do that sun qigong and smile, 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 smile. Bring that sun into your chest. Bring it into your heart space and smile. Smile at your friends. Smile at the plants. Smile at your pets. Smile inwardly. Lift your spirits. Hang around people that lift your spirits and make you feel good about yourself. Take off those masks. Stop wearing the masks. You're not protecting yourself. You're harming yourself. You're not protecting anybody. They're harming themselves. You do not have diseases that you're crossing just by passing on the street saying hello. Hug people. Don't stand 6 feet away from people. Hug people. Hold each other's hands. Love each other. Smile and laugh at each other. It's time to show up to healing yourself, taking full responsibility for your health. And on this note, I will say that I will be removing the tea from my daily, from the moment I get up to going to bed, I drink jasmine or kokicha tea. So I'm going to have to find replacements like water with lemon and apple cider vinegar in it, which is just fine with me. Anyhow, my friends, I hope this podcast helped you to understand the importance of the pineal gland, the problems it causes, and more importantly, the solution and how to heal it. So This is Raven White Dove signing out another podcast while rising in love. If you like what you hear, please be sure to like this video. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel and go ahead and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. See in the description how you can support my channel to grow bringing you the best content that I can. Thank you so much for visiting and for your support. This is Raven White Dove signing out while rising in love.